thought I would just show you this Cricut cartridge that's fairly new out. I think I've seen it on a couple of places, but not much around that I've seen. But and it's the Shoppe cartridge, and basically it's what they're calling their project cartridges, and on this particular one it's basically about making flowers. So all your paper flowers can be made on here. So just having a quick look through. For the first page they just tell you about the new Cricut craft room, which I don't believe you can get into yet, but hopefully soon. Then when you get a bit further in, you get a step-by-step on how the cartridge works, so, or how each element is made up. So step 1 shows you this particular design. What you do is you cut it out and it gives you little arrows showing the direction that you would curl the paper, and then that would be what you would end up with. And then page 2, it just shows you the type of flower, which has the little tab. So very simply you take that side across to the little tab, put it on top, and then you glue it together and it gets this. And then this type of flower is your third type, which obviously just cuts out like that, and what it's suggesting is that you'd put all 3 elements together and this is what you'd end up with. Okay, so now to the actual cuts themselves. What it does in each page is gives you what looks like a photograph actually of the finished flowers. What it's done on this particular cartridge is rather like the snowman cartridge, where rather than having individual feature keys for each button, what it's doing is it's taking each element of the flower, which you could do each piece individually, or you can do it as they've done there, which is bringing it all together to make this gorgeous flower here. But what they've done is taken each element and use each one underneath each other. So let me just put my overlay here. So basically for this particular flower, what you would be doing is using this one, this one, this one, this one. So all in your vertical line. The leaves at the bottom you can obviously use with any particular flower that you want or on their own. And so then the next one is all of those 4, those 4, those 4, etc. So all of these go together all the way across. So it's nice and simple to work out. But obviously you can use each element individually to create smaller versions, or you could use several of these together. You know, you don't have to do it how they've done it, but that is sort of each particular design goes together. When you get further in and you see, say, like the heart flowers, they call them, for example, you can see that the little sort of detail on here, here and here and here all work together, so that's sort of why. So let's put this overlay to one side, a little bit closer. So I know it's quite tight, but what I'm hoping is that you'll be able to see the detail on the elements. Now this one is scallop, and then you've got the next part, the next bit. And obviously with these ones, if you look at the flower here, you can cut as few or as many as you like. That's the pink on here. This one you can see quite a different sort of look to that. And I think this might be our heart. Yes, so if you look at this, you can see each little piece is a little heart. And much more clearly here, the heart shape. Then each petal is the heart. And the same here. Much smoother look there to the centre of that flower. And it's called a ruffle. Let me see if I can bring it up really close. Can you just see the very edge of that is just very minutely kind of deckled. Okay. A very pretty little flower there. It's a shame, I think, that they've done the 2 layers here in quite dark colours. In life you can see the difference, but I think it would have been nice if they'd done them in more contrasting colours. That's the next one, so quite a different look to that one. I know we're quite close, but I'm just hoping that will give you a better view. Now if you look at this one here, you can see the flower here is pink, and the individual leaves are the dark sort of burgundy colour. But quite clearly what they've cut is here, the pink is actually the burgundy here, and the burgundy is clearly the pink. So just watch out for that. I've noticed that on I think 2 of them, that they've just done these 2 back to front on the colour compared to the actual picture, so don't get confused with what you're cutting. And this is a very cute, this is called Daisy, this one, after my little doggy, only spelt differently. Very interesting shape on that centerpiece there. And again, you can see you could really easily use these as quite individual flowers. Really lovely different shapes here, and much more than I think appears at first sight when you just look at these pieces. I think there's a heck of a lot more that you can do because you can use each thing individually. I'm not sure how you do the petals without a base one to attach it to, but I mean, I guess you could use leaves, or you know, the leaves to attach it to that, or even just cut a circle out from like mini monograms or George or something. Use that as a base circle and then attach your little petals on top, so that you've got that look still without, you know, using all the other layers. This is called Mum for some reason, I don't know why. Your last one of the flowers, and then leaves, which they've basically put all on one page. So what you're getting is 10 different flower shapes, but obviously each flower shape has 4 different layers that you could cut individually, so that's 40 different flower shapes. Then you're getting your 10 different cuts of leaves, so you're getting 50 cuts here that you could do, plus, you know, the infinite amount of combinations that you could create using, you know, the layers themselves individually, together, 2 layers. You know, you could just go on forever with the different layers. What we'll do now is we'll go over to the Cricut and we'll just do a test cut, and I'm going to try and use some quite contrasting colours so that we can see how it works together. So we'll pick one of these and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I've loaded my mat with various colours. I'm going to load that in. And I'm going to be doing this basic one flower. So if you look at your overlay here, we know that all the cuts that we want are in this first line, ignoring the leaves because you can use any of those that you want. Okay, so I'm going to scoot along to my yellow first of all, because I want my centerpiece to be yellow. So then I'm going to press that piece there. I've already set my blade at 5 and my pressure at 4 because this is sort of heavy paper rather than card. And I'm going to take this down to, let's try 2.5 inches. Okay, press cut. What I found just now was that it cut quite a lot bigger than I expected. So I've got a 4x4 piece of paper here and I put it at 3.5 and it actually cut over into the wrong piece, which is why I have a piece here that's a slightly different size because I had to reload it. Okay, so that cut out fine. So I'm going to scoot up to the next layer, which is my pink. Now, keeping the size the same, the next one I want is this one here. So it's just one down. Again, just do it as how you want it to be. So press cut. Okay, and up to the next colour. Now I need to just go out over a little bit because I've got a cut there where, as I said, the orange, it went onto the orange and cut it completely wrong. So then, now with this next cut, we've got these petals, and so we need to cut a few of these. So I'm actually not going to do it on this pale pink. I'm going to cut those petals onto the orange where I've got a little bit more space. I'm going to actually cut this flower here on my pale pink. Wait for that to come up and cut. Okay, and then scoot over to my orange. Oh, I need to go right over. And then down. Okay, so we want this cut here, and then we hit our quantity button, So I want, how many? Well, it's got 9 in that picture there, but we'll start with 5 and see how we go, because I don't know if it'll fit, and I don't want it to go in my pink. Oh, it says it can be cut 4 times, and I'm thinking it's including that, so we may have to... Oh no, it's just going up to here, of course. So then we can go back down. So there's our 4, so I'm going to go back up here and repeat last. Okay, so that's 8 petals, which I'm sure is fine. So unload our mat, and then we're going to go back across to the table and start putting this together. Oh, hold on, I've unloaded my mat. I didn't want to. I wanted to do my leaves. So load the mat back up and zip across. I always have a problem with this button on this one. Right, so I've got 2 different colours here. So I'm going to pick this lovely one here, I think. We need to take our quantity button off as well, and I think we'll cut that one. And I accidentally zipped the upper side, so not to worry. I put it from 2.5, I knocked it, but it didn't really matter. It only went up to 2 3/4. And then I'm going to hit something similar, because we don't want something completely different, because it would look funny. And hit that one. I don't know if I'm going to use the leaves, but I just thought I'd see what they look like. And now unload the mat. Okay guys, so here they are all cut out, and as you can see they look really, really effective. So I've left them exactly as they are, and we're going to try and put these together. So the first piece I think is a really easy one to do, would be this one here. And literally we just need to glue this little tab. Just put a little bit on there and pop that behind and hold it in place. Once this is dried a bit more thoroughly, what we'll do is we'll curl the petals a bit more, but at the moment we're going to put that to one side. Now obviously this piece needs nothing more doing to it other than curling of the petals. This one I think is going to be the one that's the more fiddly to do. I don't think it's going to be difficult per se, but I just think it's going to be a little bit more fiddly. Of the quick dry glue on there. And then put our tab in place and just hold it. I'm just trying to make sure that this piece is correct behind, because I think that's what makes a difference. There we go. What I need to do, I think, is put some little bits of glue on all the way around, just on the lower part of this, so that we can roll it, and as we roll it, it's going to just come together. So then we're just going to roll this. I think actually I probably shouldn't have done all of it in one go, but anyway. Now actually what would have worked better is if I hadn't have glued it all the way along. I think what I needed to do was just glue the end piece and just kind of roll it tight. It's actually very simple to do, I just made it more difficult. So I think really what you need to do is not glue it like that, or use like a dry adhesive so you're not getting it all over yourself. I think that would be the more simple thing to do. But it is a learning curve, and we're learning it together as to what's the right thing. And then just taking that last piece, putting some glue on that, and then just sticking that down. And holding that in place while it sets. If I'd done it a slightly looser curl, then that would have been a nice centre. So as you can see, we've got a lovely little scallop there, And again, as I say, you could easily just pull that centre out a bit if you wanted to, just to have some more petaled effect. Okay. So I want to now just take my bone folder and just curl my little petals over. And again, you could ink these up so they get a lovely effect, or you know, you could do all sorts. So I'm going to take this one as well. I'm going to be a bit cautious on this because I pulled this earlier off my mat a bit hard and I slightly made it a bit weak. I didn't quite go as far as tearing it, but it just weakened it a little bit, so just being a bit careful. Okay. I think it would look really nice if it was all inked up as well, actually. And then, I'm not sure, you could do it either way around. I think I'm going to do it like so. And I'm going to get a nice little brad, I think, a lovely jewelled brad. And I'm going to put that through. Lovely set of brads from Joy Crafts, it says. I got this off Create and Craft TV, a whole set of them. I think these are actually from Creator, was the company that I got them from on Create and Craft. Anyway, we're going to use this lovely blue. I'm not sure which size. Let's have a look. I think this one here, because if it's too big it'll not work. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look lovely? Very effective. And then through there as well. How pretty does that look? Okay, then the next thing I want to do is just adhere these lovely little petals to the back. And again, you can curl these, but I think what I'm going to do is stick them down first. So I'm just going to put a blob of glue and just start sticking. Okay, so that's all stuck down on the back really nicely. And then the only other thing I want to do is stick down my leaves. So I'm just going to shape my leaf. Now you could, again, as I say, you can easily colour this so that you get a nice tone to it. Whoops! Okay, so I want to put these just here. Next time I put glue gel on the back and do it that way, but nevertheless I think we can agree that all in all that has made a very, very pretty flower. So I hope you've enjoyed learning along with me on how to do the flowers on this cartridge, and I hope that you can see that it's a fabulous cartridge with loads of potential. And I'd love to see you all again soon and look forward to all your comments. Bye!